Middle schoolers outside. Wow, look at this crew. I missed you all last week. I was in. We missed you too, Daniel. Wow. Come on in. Take a seat over here. Tia, come over. Yeah, find a seat. There you go. Is this our crew tonight? Do we have any? I think we have a few stragglers out there. Thanks, Jake. I think it's CG and her crew. CG's crew. Because I think we have... Let's go! 6th grade girls are in the house. We had a few already. I see you back there. Didn't miss you. All right, welcome. Yes, Mac. Woo! Oh, man. Yeah, come on in. Find a seat. Every seat's a great seat. Because there is no splash zone, you know? Every seat's a great seat. Yeah, you can sit there. There's seats up here. All right. Guys, welcome. I see there's new faces here. Man, I almost wonder if you were new this week or last week, and because I didn't meet you, you get a second chance last week for doing the impossible shot later today. And if you're new this week, you can do the impossible shot because I haven't met some of you, and some of you it's your first time. But welcome. I'm Shelly. I'm the director of student ministries here, so it's good to meet you. I work with this incredible team of leaders that's here. Woo! Who's your small group leaders. And I'm going to invite up our intern, Katie Hill, who spoke last week. Woo! And she is going to lead us in our first game.
Introduction. Thanks, Shelly. I feel all the confidence now. Okay, tonight's game we're playing is called clumps. Basically, you're gonna get up and we're gonna wander around, and I'm gonna have you guys get into a clump based on a category. So the first one I'm gonna do is the color of your hair. So everyone stand up and you get in a group. So everyone with brown hair gets in a group. Everyone with blonde hair, different colored hair, get in a group. Everyone, clump up. Hair color, yeah. Hair color. So find the different hair color groups. We've got, looks like blondes are over here. We got brown hair over here. All right. Oh, I think we're having subgroups. All right. How are we doing? Okay. Once you get in these groups, okay, so we're going to start, we're going to ask a little question. It's going to be a little get to know you game, okay? So the first question for tonight is, if you could have an endless supply of any food, what food would you pick? An endless supply of any food. So just talk with your groups, share your answers. What would you guys do? Just playing a little get to know you game. If you had an endless supply of any food, what would you pick? All right, next clump you're going to get in is your birthday month. So which month is your birthday month? Find the January's, February's month. Keep going. Get in those clumps. Birthday month. Who's this month? Where are the February's? What? Where's February? We need to find February. Raise your hand if you're February. Okay, I think they need to make February. February group, go right over here. What about November? Who's November? We need November over here. November's or July back there. We got, what else? Who's missing their group? Who can't find their group? What month? September. Where's September? We've got September over there. July. What about July? Anyone need July? July's right there. May? May's right here. All right. March? So we're missing a March? Is it just Ashton? Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. The question we're asking now is, if you were an animal, what would you be and why? Any animal. If you were an animal, what would you be and why? If you could be any animal, what would you be and why? Share with your group. Elephant? I don't actually know. Okay, all right. Next category is the color of your shirt. The color of your shirt. Get into a clump with the color of your shirt. Or the color on your shirt that's the most of. See, we got black over here. It's a very strong group. There's a black crumb. I see some brown in the back. We've got gray over here. Such dark colors. Black's over here. We got gray over here. Brown's in the back. Brown back there. Black up here. Gray. All right. The question is, let me pick a good one here. Okay, what was your favorite thing to do during quarantine? That's a fun question. What was your favorite thing to get you through? Your favorite pastime when in quarantine? What? Say one more time? Oh, my animal. I think it would be like a golden retriever. I think that'd be fun. Just lounge around all day. What was your favorite thing to do during quarantine? I think we're wrapping up. All right, last one. Last grouping, I should say, is your school. School. Leaders over there. Wow, that's a big group over there. Okay. All right. And your question is... All right. All right. Your question is, if you could visit any place in the world, where would you go and why? If you could visit any place in the world, where would you go and why? Yeah, that's a good one. For sure. I would go to Europe. All right, when you guys finish up, you can go ahead and take a seat, and we're going to play our next game. All righty. All right, go ahead and take a seat. We're going to play our next game. So exciting. I'm going to go put the slide up really quick. We're running. All righty. We're going to play our next game, which is called Do You Trust Me? I'm going to need some leaders to help me out. Leaders. These leaders know who they are. And then I'm going to need 3 contestants for me. 3 contestants. Wow, that was such a wide response. Oh, all right. Okay, there we go. There's one. There's one. Bella. I'm going to go with Bella. And let's see. Let's go Malachi. All right. All right. I need my 3 contestants to stand right over here. No, Bella. Alrighty, and then my leaders over here. All right, for my contestants, I have a whiteboard for each of you. Go ahead and take one. There we go. Oh, I picked siblings. I didn't even process that. All right. Wait, did you pick her? I didn't. I picked Bella. All right. And then, hi, Shelby. Here, and erasers, just in case we have mistakes. All right, so, do you guys know the game, 2 truths and a lie? This is similar. Okay. Yes. Oh, okay. This is similar, but basically I have our 3 leaders up here, and you guys can kind of face each other a little bit. Can you curve in? Okay, so each of these leaders have a story to tell you guys. Each of these leaders have a story to tell you guys, and you're going to listen to their stories, and now 2 of these stories are true, and 1 of these stories is completely made up and is a lie. It is your job to identify the liar in these stories. So they're going to each take turns telling their story, and then you guys get to have a turn of asking 1 question. You can pick any leader and ask them 1 question to help you figure it out a little bit. You need a clarification question, and then you write down who you think it is, and we'll do a big reveal. Are we ready to start sharing the stories? Are you guys ready? Yeah! All right. Here we go. Go for it.
All right. So we're all telling a story of an adventure. Boys in the back, do you not want to know my story? It's like really cool. Okay. Yeah, so one of us is lying, 2 of us are telling the truth, and we're all telling a travel story. So one time, I was headed to Guatemala, and I was really excited to go there, and I couldn't wait, and so we were flying on Spirit Airlines, and yeah, woo, going downhill. And we go there, and I was like, oh, I'm so excited to get there. Well, we're flying, and all of a sudden, the captain gets on the air, and he goes, we just want to let you know that there's a big storm, but we're going to try to land the plane. And we were like, okay, great. So we're circling up in the air, and it's going, and it's like going all, it's the worst, this is the worst flight I've ever been on. And we go down, and they go to land, and then they shoot back up, and we go back up into the air, and then for 45 minutes, we just circle until you could feel the force. And I thought I was gonna vomit, and then every other person on the plane started vomiting, and then they said, we're going to try to land again. So they go down, they go to land and shoot back up a second time. So then we're going around again for another 30 minutes, okay? And then the pilot gets on and says, we're about to run out of fuel. And we can't land in Guatemala, so we're going to have to go to El Salvador. So we fly to El Salvador. They wouldn't let us off the plane. And then we had to sit there. We fueled up. We waited for the storm, finally got to Guatemala. That's my craziest flight story. All right.
I wish we knew what each other were saying before we did this.
So mine isn't as intense as that, but imagine being stuck in a car with your siblings and your parents for a whole weekend traveling to 3 destinations. So I had a soccer tournament, a basketball tournament, and a track meet all in the same weekend, but worlds apart. So we drove to San Diego first, Thanksgiving weekend, and I got to play soccer on Friday. Then we left that night, drove to Fresno. So Saturday morning, I had a track meet. And for some reason, my team thought it would be funny to trash our room. So my guy friends all got there early, and we got to our room, and it was trashed. My dad was so pissed. He yelled at the hotel people. I said a bad word, didn't I? So upset that he yelled at the hotel people, and we were exhausted because we just drove from San Diego the day before and now driving to Fresno in one night. It was super late. Then the next morning we found out my team didn't, thought it would be funny. Yeah, not funny. My dad was still very upset. Then after the track meet, I ran my mile race because I made state. Then we drove all the way to Vacaville so I can finish my basketball tournament. And this was all in the car, driving for many hours with my entire family, but it was so much fun.
Okay, so 2 summers ago, so 2019 summer, my entire family, what? Yeah, summer of 2019. So 2 summers ago, summer of 2019, my entire family went to Europe, and the first stop was Aberystwyth, Wales, which was a place my mom went to school because she was an exchange student for a couple of years. And so one time, well, we were there, I was in the hotel room, and I was sleeping. My parents went out to go see the live-action Lion King, which I didn't want to see at the time, so I just sat and wait. At the time. So, because I was really tired, because I'd accidentally stayed up till like 3 a.m. the previous night, so I was in my bed, and then I woke up, and it was about like 12 in the afternoon, and I go outside of the hotel room, and I had my own key, because my parents left the key for me, because they're like, okay, if you need to go to the bathroom or something, because it was actually a converted bed and breakfast. So there was no bathrooms in the hotel rooms. You had to leave the hotel room to go to the bathroom. That was down the hall. But anyway, basically, we were traveling along, I was traveling along all these roads looking for my parents, because it's Aberystwyth, Wales is a very small town, and it was at the end of the summer, so it was very cold, so there was no tourists. We were the only tourists, and there was like 6 people in the entire town, and there's one movie theater, so I start walking, I go all the way to the movie theater, there's no one on the streets, nowhere, anywhere, so I start getting stressed out, because I'm like, oh my gosh, there's no one. But I didn't really know at the time that no one goes to Aberystwyth, Wales when it's like freezing cold. So I walk into the movie theater, and there was a massive line all the way outside of the movie theater, and my parents aren't there. I'm like, okay. And it seems like everyone in the entire town is at this one movie theater. I'm confused, because it's like a classic theater with like the curtains that like close and open and stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. But no one was there, and there was no Lion King playing, so I got super confused. So I started like kind of freaking out, so I started walking all the way down the street, because I thought maybe there's a different movie theater, so I was like scanning my phone, looking for different movie theaters. I get all the way to the train stop, and there's a train just sitting there. All the doors of the train are open, and there's no one inside. And now I'm like really freaking out, like what's going on? So I run back to the hotel room, and then I open the hotel room door, and all of my family is there. I'm like, what are you guys doing? I thought you guys were going to see The Lion King. But actually what happened is The Lion King was canceled because a group of people that we didn't know about at the time had gone to do a live performance at the theater where Lion King was going to be performed. So they actually got kicked out of the theater when it was supposed to play Lion King, because apparently these people were famous in Wales, but of course my parents had no idea who they were. So they were just sitting in the hotel room freaking out because they didn't know where I was, and I was just roaming around Aberystwyth, Wales. Okay.
What questions do you have?
Can I ask each of you one question?
No, you can only ask, there's only time, one question per person, one question total.
Okay, Ashton, what hotel room or hotel did you stay in when you went to Fresno? Okay.
Come back to me.
No, you have to go.
Okay. I don't have a question yet, so I'm passing it to them. Come back to me. Or not.
We got a question.
Shelly, where in Guatemala did you go?
We went to Antigua, and we went to Santa Apollonia, and yeah.
Hey, Alex. Hey, Alex. What was the name of the theater that had the curtains closing and open?
All right, contestants, go ahead and write your answers down, and then we're going to do a big reveal. Who you think is the liar? Just write a name. Write down who you think is lying. All right. Are we all taking our guesses over here too? Okay. When you guys are all ready, I'll do a countdown and we'll just reveal and we'll see. And then, all right, are we ready? Okay, I'm gonna count to 3. You'll turn your boards, and then I'm gonna ask the liar to step forward. Okay? Are we ready? All right. Oh, Daniel's not ready. We're almost ready. All right. 1, 2, 3. Reveal. What do we have? Oh, wow. There's a lot of writing. All right. Oh, okay. So what, you think Ashton's lying? Ashton's lying and Alex is lying. All right. Are you ready? Shelly's not listening. Just kidding. All right. When she's ready, may the liar please step forward. Oh! Daniel got out. All right, that was great. Great job, everybody. Thank you so much. We can take these. Go, guys, go ahead and take a seat.
All right. That was a true story. Legit was going on a mission trip to Guatemala, and it was the only time I felt like I would vomit on a flight. All right. We're going to transition to our talk. So if you're sitting by someone that could distract you, maybe move. If you have your phone out, put your phone away. But we're going to transition to our talk, which we're continuing a series. Oh, brilliant. I just love you just for making that choice. Yes. We're continuing a series called True North, where we're talking about how Jesus can guide us in the different things that you face in middle school. And tonight, we're going to talk about dating. Now, I know dating for some of you is like, ooh, really exciting. For some of you, it's like awkward. Okay? We're going to talk just a few ways that Jesus can guide us in dating, whether you're dating now or not, or you're like never, ever. It can just give you some good ideas, whether in a friendship even, or a relationship, or in dating. But to start this off, I just want to talk about, we all have different things that shape us when it comes to our ideas of dating. And I have just a really silly example. So can we play the video? Ashton, can you hit the video to help me out on the slide? So I'm just going to play this video. You know this song. Sing along, okay? So we can take the awkwardness out of tonight's talk. You know this song. Get it? You guys sound so good. So cute. I know. Get it, Daniel. Get it. Oh my gosh, so good. Perfect. Hit the next slide. So you guys sounded so great. So I love whenever talking about dating, whenever talking about love, I love in this was like Disney making fun of themselves. Am I right? This is Disney making fun of, we'll do questions at the end. Well, this is Disney sort of making fun of themselves because for the first time they put on display that they kind of show fake love stories. Like this is someone that completes you and they're everything you wanted and they finish each other's sandwiches. Like, you know what? And I just think it's so funny. But there's so much, like Disney for so long shaped what love and dating has looked like for generations before, that for us to realize, man, there's been so many things that have shaped our idea of what dating looks like and what we think when we're in a relationship, what that means, how that makes us feel, and all of that. It's important for us to have some recognizing on how we're shaped by things in our culture or movies or by our friends to know then how we would want to date. And here we want to talk about dating, and we want to talk about dating because we believe that God cares about your life and God cares about how we date, why we date, even who we date. And so that's why we want to talk about it today. Even if it's a little awkward for you, I want you to hang in there because we want to talk about some of these hard things and have church be a place or youth group be a place that you can talk about this. So I want to read a passage today that's going to guide our time and what we're going to talk about. Romans 12, 9 through 10 says, "Don't just pretend to love others, really love them. Hate what is wrong, hold tightly to what is good, love each other with genuine affection, and take delight in honoring each other." So when I read this verse, I get an indication of how Jesus wants us to guide us in relationships, but even with the big questions that we may ask with relationships. And so I want to walk through three questions: the why, the who, and the how of dating, and how Jesus can sort of guide us in those questions. So the verse is Jesus can guide us in why we date. Why we date, okay? So it's important for you to sit with that question. If you're crushing on someone or you're ever considering dating, or maybe you're not, that's fine, but it's important to figure out, why do you want to date? What is the thing that's driving you to want to date? And when we look at this passage, Jesus is really clear to saying, man, hey, just don't pretend to love others, but really love them. Don't pretend to love others, but really love them. And God in Scripture is very specific about what real love looks like with other people. And you're going to read this tonight in your small group. But God says that love is patient, kind, not envious, not boastful, not proud, not dishonoring, not self-seeking, not easily angered, keeps no wrong records, rejoices with truth, protects, trusts, hopes, and perseveres. That's a really long list. And you're going to look at that more tonight in your small group. But Jesus, when he's saying to have real love, this is what that looks like. Now, some of you are like, whoa, I'm not getting to a relationship to like get into like a real love. Okay, but to actually care about someone and to like them and to want to honor and respect them, this is what it looks like. And so when we think of why we date, I want you to think love and dating should be complementing, not completing. Complementing, not completing. So here's the difference in that. Completing is basically what's happening here. There's a void that you're trying to fill. Maybe it's an insecurity or a hurt or a wound, and you're dating that person because you want to feel better about yourself. And you're trying to, whatever negative thing you're feeling, you're trying to fill yourself up by being in this relationship, and they're trying to complete those like that hole or emptiness or insecurity that you have. And here what we see is Anna, it doesn't feel loved by her sister, right? She doesn't feel loved. She said she's had closed doors all her life. And so when someone walks in, she feels all of a sudden affirmed and loved and cared for. And this relationship isn't a healthy relationship because all it's doing is trying to fill that hole, when that should be coming from somewhere else. That shouldn't be coming from a relationship. And even for Hans, the same thing. Like, he's seventh, eighth in the line of his family, and he wants to be king, and he feels left out. And so he gets this relationship and wants to be a part of it because he's trying to fill that hole and that gap that he's feeling. There's an insecurity that he has, so he wants to be in this relationship to fill that insecurity. Versus complementing really is strengthening and pushing each other in how God has uniquely made you. It's encouraging each other. It's chasing after the same thing. It's knowing that you have worth, value, and respect, and it's found in God, not in your relationship. And so when the other person comes alongside you, they aren't feeling that emptiness that you may be feeling or that insecurity. Instead, they're coming alongside and just encouraging you. And they're coming alongside in what God's already doing in your life. And so when we think about why we want to date, we have to make sure that we're dating because we genuinely want to care about this person, not because we're trying to fill an insecurity or we're trying to fill a wound or a hurt or a lie in our life. And so the next question I want to look at is who we date, okay? Who we date. This verse tonight read, take delight in honoring each other. And here's what I want you to know. This is if there's anything you take away, knowing who you want to date, it's important to know who you are. Knowing who you want to date, it's important to know who you are. And what I mean by that is, what are your values? What choices do you want to make? What do you want to be about? And this means finding someone that can come alongside that can be a part of that, instead of taking you away from who you want to be about. Instead of tearing you down or pulling you back. It's kind of like, who in here runs? Who in here runs? Mia, kind of. We got some kind of. Mac, you seem like a confident runner. Okay. Max, come up here. Mac's gonna come up here. I'm a really bad runner, so we're gonna just slow jog, okay? So when you are looking for someone and you're trying to find who is it that you want to date, you are figuring out what are your choices, what do you value, what do you care about, who do you want to be? And you're running towards that goal, right? So I'm going to start running. Mac's going to run next to me. So we are all running towards something, right? We're all running towards a goal. And when we're dating someone, we want someone that's running in the same direction as us, so it's similar values, wants to make similar choices. We're going to keep running. I'm going to get tired, but you're not, okay? Now, here's the thing. What you don't want is you don't want someone who's going in the opposite direction. Matt, can you go in the opposite direction? Okay? You don't want someone going in the opposite direction that you're going to feel like, I'm running towards this goal, these values, these choices, but I like this person, so I'm turning around from everything that I want to be to chase after this person. Instead, this is too much running for me, Mac. All right, instead, maybe if someone is trying to hold you back or pull you back, maybe that's not the right person because they're not running in the same direction as you. They're not in sync with the goals and the values and the choices that you want to make. And maybe you do have to put some distance between them and be like, I can be friends with you maybe from a distance, but I may need to have boundaries with you. Mac, you can go ahead and sit down. Round of applause for Mac. Woo! And so it's important to know who you are and what you want to be about, because you're running towards something. And when you think about who you want to date, man, you don't want to have that person, and Jesus doesn't want to have that person pull you back, hold you back, have you run away from who you want to be about. He doesn't want you to be running away from that. God wants you to have a relationship that takes delight in honoring one another and what you want to be about and the values you want to hold. Last question I want to answer is, Jesus can guide us in how we date. I'm still out of breath. Mac, that was a great job. You're a great runner. I just started running. Okay, and how we want to date. And I want to read this verse one more time. It says, don't just pretend to love others. Really love them. Hate what is wrong. Hold tightly to what is good. Love each other with genuine affection and take delight in honoring each other. And so for a healthy relationship, okay, go to the next, Katie, can you go to the next slide? So to figure out how we want to date, it is super important to have boundaries, to figure out what are your boundaries in a relationship, and to know too what's a healthy relationship and what's a not healthy relationship. Because God wants you to be in a relationship that truly cares about you, that has a genuine affection, takes delight in honoring one another, but then hates what is wrong and holds tightly to what is good. And so I want you to think about, when you're thinking how to date, to think of like traffic signs, you know? I know none of you are driving yet, but one day when you take a driving test, You will fail the driving test if you do not listen to traffic signs, right? Right, leaders? You will fail it in a heartbeat, okay? If you do not listen to red means stop, then if you were to just blow through that red light, then most likely you could get in an accident, you could get in a ticket. But the point of the red light, the point of stop signs, the point of yield signs is to have you stop or slow down so you don't get into an accident. And every responsible driver that wants to be safe and careful and wants to end up at their end destination really tries hard to pay attention to those traffic signs. And that's the same, I think, with relationships. Boundaries is super important. And knowing your boundaries, knowing also what a healthy relationship looks like, is important to have a safe, successful, joyful, genuine relationship. And so here, when I think of like red light, green light, and a stop sign, I think of my red flags. I call them red flags. And the things that like make me go, whoa, stop, this is unhealthy. And this is not the exhaustive list. This is just a short list. You may have other ones. Is a relationship where they're pressuring you to do things that you are not ready for, or that's compromising your values. It's a relationship where they bully, belittle you, or tear you down with words. It's a relationship, I see people are looking around. It's a relationship that cheats on you, a relationship that gossips about you, that isolates you from your friendship, that becomes an obsessive relationship or a manipulative relationship. And this might be hard. A red flag is, it's a relationship that you feel like you have to lie to your parents about. We got some burns. Okay, you knew that was coming. Should be, this is just a short list. You could probably come up with other ones your parents have shared with you. But that should be like this red flag of, man, this is not a healthy relationship. When God's like, I want to guide you. We'll answer questions later. I want to guide you in how to have a relationship. These are the things that God goes, man, you should be honored and respected. And you should honor and respect others. And so this is not what's healthy. What's healthy is, what's a green light, what's good, is they respect your boundaries and your values. They want you to spend time with their friends. And they're good friends with you and their friends themselves. They encourage you in your faith, what you're trying to figure out here at youth group. You can share about it with your parents. You can, and we talked about this tonight, it's a relationship that's patient, kind, not envious, not boastful, not proud, not dishonoring, not self-seeking, not easily angered, keeps no records of wrong, rejoices with truth, protects, trusts, hopes, perseveres. That's like a green light to go, okay, this is a good relationship that God's like, yes, this is what I would want you to seek. And these are just some that I think are boundaries. But your parents probably have boundaries too, that they have ideas of what a healthy relationship looks like. And I know it's awkward, but to talk to your parents, they've been through it before, they've walked through it. Your small group leaders are here, you can get ideas for them. If you're in a relationship that you're like, I don't know if this is healthy, they would want to talk to you. If you're trying to navigate, should I date this person or not, they would want to talk to you. But it's important for you to know what are your boundaries. What are you running towards? What are your goals? What are your values? And at the end of the day, here's what I want you to know. We talk about Jesus being the true north, like a compass. He wants to guide you in what's good and healthy. And at the end of the day, he says that you are valuable regardless of your relationship status. That you do not need a relationship to show that you are valued, loved, and seen. He wants to remind you of that every day, because here's the thing, relationships are a part of life, but they are not the point of life. They're a part of life, but they're not the point of life. Our point of life is to share good news with people, to be kind, to be loving to all of those around us. And you can do that in or out of a relationship. And so I want to encourage you, regardless of your relationship status, for the rest of your life, you are valuable, because God has looked at you and said he loves you and he cares about you so much, and he wants to speak that into you. Because sometimes I think we get so caught up with having to be in a relationship, with having to be someone else, that we can forget that he's already said that about us, and we can lean into that. So know that relationships are a part of life, but they're not the point of life. And so you are going to sit with your small groups. You're going to talk a little bit more about this, a little bit more about relationships and the questions, if you had some questions, to talk to your small group leaders. But I think it's really important to ask those questions and to know who you are and what you wanted to run after, because God wants to guide you in that, and he wants to help you have a loving and healthy relationship, whether friendship or in a dating relationship. So let me pray for us. Jesus, I thank you so much for tonight. I thank you for this topic that you, Jesus, wants to engage in every part of our life, including dating or singleness, and even just our worth and value. So Jesus, be with us in our small groups. May we be reminded what is good and what is healthy, and that you are with us in all of it. In your awesome and truly precious name, amen.
It's all good. Hey, come on in, guys. Come on in. Get some agua. Dude, Jackson's in the house. With Snoopy, dude. I'm a big Snoopy fan.